Bethany asks, when do you know your baby is ready to transition to training pants or underwear after they start walking? My son is 11 months old and not walking yet, but I would like to know for future reference since the struggle to get a diaper on him is getting so hard. We have a lot of misses still, so how will we know when it's time? Thank you. You're probably having misses because your child is going to be walking soon. Branson, you can hear in the background, we've been having, my nanny, Hannah, is awesome. She's been watching my kids since Cooper was 2 months old, my last child, and she is so into EC because she brags to her mom that she doesn't have to change poopy diapers, and her mom's like, what? How? Why? And she's just really in tune with that as sort of a gauge of how Branson's doing overall. So Bethany, with yours, EC is a good gauge of how your baby's doing overall. Having a lot of misses means every single time that there's a developmental milestone that's about to be reached. So you're about to have something major shift for your child, and you'll know in retrospect after it happens. But since I've been experienced with 4 kids and also thousands of people, I'm going to tell you for sure that usually a lot of misses means that. The second reason for a lot of misses, and this isn't what you asked, but the second reason for a lot of misses is that the child wants more control over the process and is ready to wrap it up. So if you're having a lot of misses, say around 12 or 13 months after they start walking, then that means it's time to do some semblance of training. And with my Go Diaper Free book and the hybrid plan, that's definitely what you would want to do at 12, 13, 14 months after they start walking. So what I would recommend is, and this is what people did in the 50s and earlier in America, is when the child started walking, they started to get rid of diapers right away. They started to make a regular routine of putting them. Oh, you can see they're working on my deck in the background. Pat's going to be back there in our video. They would start to actively train once the child's walking. So what you can expect, Bethany, is when your child has mastered walking, which really doesn't take too long, they start to do little steps, they start to do a couple, and then before you know it, they're just zooming. So maybe a couple of weeks. And diapering is going to be really hard at that time. What you can do is a hybrid experience, which the Wrapping Up EC course actually has the hybrid plan in it. If you don't already have Go Diaper Free book and you're just interested in this one topic, you could do the hybrid plan after your son starts walking, Bethany. And as a part of that, after you do a couple of days of naked teaching, it's like a watered down kind of potty training mixed with EC kind of a thing for really young toddlers. At that point, you've done a couple of days of naked observation and moving to the potty every time, which will start to make those misses go away and start to click, well, oh, this is where we go every time. That is a good time to switch to trainers right then, after doing a couple of days of the hybrid plan. So those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to put a link up here on the side. I believe this is correct. Let me see. The wrap up course has the hybrid plan. It also has pure EC as a way of wrapping up. Yep, here it is. Okay. So here's the link to that course. Otherwise, if you have the book is going to have the hybrid plan in it and a bigger overall view of EC. Do that right after your child starts to walk and is able to, and put the potty near you in the room when you do the 1 to 2 days of naked teaching. It's okay to have the potty in the room. And right as you're doing that, you can stop using stop using diapers during the day. And for a couple of months, since your child's so young, you might want to use training pants just to protect the pants or the floor. If you see that that's not as effective and it feels like a diaper to him, then you would want to use underwear or just go commando for a few weeks, which is pants only. Or if naked at home works, some kids do really great with naked at home. With potty training, I would say, no, don't have them naked at home all the time because it really doesn't teach them because they're supposed to wear pants in our society in most situations. So with a child this young, though, with EC, if they do great at home and they're not just peeing anywhere, whenever, wherever on the floor when naked from the waist down, then go ahead and have them naked. That's fine. And then use training pants on outings. I do have a course on outings, too. They're deep dives that go into what I would tell you if I had an hour with you to tell you about how to do EC on an outing. Everything I know is in there. An entire road trip I filmed for you. Lots of things of me going in the stores at Biltmore or wherever else. So I just want to say that you can also take your time if you want to here's the outings one. If you want to take your time, then after walking has been achieved, and if diapering isn't too much of a struggle. So I ditched diapers with Kaiva at 9.5 months, right when he started walking, because I was so tired of changing his diaper. I did not have tiny trainers at that time, so I used Gerbers. He would pee and it would go all over the floor. So I'm telling you, my training pants are the best. Please don't even waste your money. I know they're way cheaper to get Gerbers, but they just don't help at all. And yes, it makes them feel wet for a second, but then it's like all over the ground. It's a big mess. So I would highly recommend the tiny trainers for that. And that's over here at this link. But I did it instantly because the diaper struggle was so real and so hard with him. I've also done it with Isadora, where we got really good on track at 8 or 9 months old. We got into a good space. And then at 13 months, we just stopped using diapers. We used cloth from 8 months to 13 months. And we stopped using diapers at 13 months just as it's time. For you, Bethany, given that your son starts walking by 1, he can't have either of us. I mean, he needs to get David, I think. Yeah, not me. Okay, let's do a theoretical. I'm spending so much time on this question because this applies to so many of you. Bethany, your child starts walking at 11.5 months. Diaper changing gets really hard because all he wants to do is stand and pull up and creep and move around, right? And practice walking. Switch him to trainers during the day. Do a 1 to 2 day naked teaching, one weekend, just to teach a couple of the tools. Switch to trainers during the day, which you'd get my size 18 months if your child's about normal size. And then use diapers as a backup at night and naps. I would just go cold turkey. The other thing you could do is do like a little bit of both for a couple of weeks, maybe at about 13 months, definitely stop using diapers then. What I've heard from our community is the longer you wait to stop using diapers during the day, because you've got a lot going on or you've got other kids or whatever, the harder it is to wrap it up. They just start to realize, there's wiggle room here. I don't actually need to go in the toilet every time. With Cooper, we stopped using diapers in the day at 17 months. If I could do it over again, we would have done it at 13 months and just really done a concerted effort. But it was my 3rd child and I was pregnant with a 4th, and it was really, really hard. So I relied on the diaper, and I could see where he's not quite where all the other ones were because of that. So what to expect? Yeah. After they start walking or right at starting walking, do the 1 to 2 days plan, and then you can just stop using daytime diapers then. Remember, in Montessori schools between 12 and 18 months, they do cloth pants only at their schools between 12 and 18 months. So they're never in a diaper at the Montessori schools during those ages. It's not about how few wet pants you have, it's about the learning. And one of our coaches in Colorado, Elizabeth, swears by this. She deals with this every single day. She's trained so many kids in her school, and it's a Montessori school, and she's an ACE, I can remember the acronym, ACS or ACM. She swears by this. If you put them in cloth at 12 months, and only cloth, whether it's a cloth diaper or training pants, but she even says cloth training pants. She swears by those. And she's got tons of the tiny trainers. We're going to make them some for their school. These are teachers. So they're going to teach the child every time they have a miss in them, the child actually learns. And it's not about how many misses you have in them. It does keep the floor dry, but it's about how well is your child sensitized to what's going on down there at the 12 to 18 months, which is the sensitive period. And we use it as an opportunity to change the training pants right next to the toilet, give an opportunity to go to the bathroom then, and put new training pants on, which is where the Learn ones come so in handy, because they can just grab the orange handles and pull them up and really do it themselves. Yeah, Amy asked how many tiny trainers are needed at that age. So between about 12 months old, I would get at the minimum 3 3-packs, so 9. If you can, and take advantage of the sale right now because it's 15% off right now, do 4 3-packs. But if you're buying at this age, what I would do is get 1 or 2 of the packs be 18 months. I would do 2 packs of 18 months and 2 packs of 2T at 11 months, because you're going to have some wiggle room to grow into. The tiny trainers also have a little bit wider waistband so that they can really maneuver it and pull up. They're not quite as tight as the tiny undies. So I would do between 9 and 12 pair. That will give you enough to not have to sweat it and worry, oh no, don't pee these, and then it'll put pressure on the kid, and the kid will have a miss, and then you'll have all these wet ones, and you'll give up and go back to diapers. I know because I've been there. So have enough to where you don't feel bad about doing a tiny load of laundry every day while they're learning. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that one. Great question, Bethany.